Welcome to episode 8 of Shade Tech Radio. I'm Dead Sock Puppet, and back from his impromptu camping trip is my co host, Ginter.
Hello, everybody. I'm back. I had a terrible time. The water was too cold and it was too hot outside, and couldn't win. And you try to sleep and you're sweating, and I don't know why, but my shorts were just wet when I wake up. It just didn't make any sense.
Okay, so with that, we'll move into the intelligence annex. Yannick was again by himself for State of the Game. He did bring in Keith from Red Storm to talk. Basically, they talked about that the console version of PTS 3 will be coming, and it should be out by the time this podcast drops, so next week, Tuesday. 3 should already be out for PC. Basically, they mentioned that the PTS 3 build for console will be the same as the PC one. The only difference is that they're making some changes to the SASG meta, and they really want people to test those changes. If you're interested in exactly what they are, that's on. You can go to the patch notes for it, and it'll list what they are. They are still trying to figure out what happened with the console PTS invites, but they did find that there were 2 criteria that they forgot to mention. In order to get a PTS invite, you have to be 18, and you also have to have your email account set up to receive promo emails. If you don't, then when they send them to you, they just bounce back, or you wouldn't even be in the queue to get those. So that could be in addition to some of the other issues that people had with getting invites, part of the problem with those invites. They did say that for PTS Build 3, that recalibration will be available, so test that out. Try testing those recalibrating 2 options on the classified gear sets just so that they can see if those are working and how they do work. They also mentioned that drop rates for classified gear are going to be tweaked. They're going to try to make them a little bit more available just to kind of see how that changes the gameplay. I see Ginter's not too happy with that.
Man, it's like, oh, we're not giving you enough classified gear. Here's classified gear for everybody. Everybody have some. Here,
Well, I mean, if you have to remember that this is a test, so they're trying to see if they're trying to figure out what the sweet spot is between being too stingy with the gear and giving out way too much. So I don't think this is going to necessarily be the last week of the PTS. I think there'll probably be one more build for PC. This will probably be the last one for the console. So with these changes, they can kind of get an idea of, is it rain and loot again, or is it, we're still being too stingy. So until it comes live, I'm fine with them tweaking and changing things on a week to basis. So they also did mention that they're going to increase the token cap to 10,000 for global events, so you can actually buy more of those caches, and that they've made some minor tweaks to the Strikers and Lone Star classified sets. So that's pretty much what they had on the State of the Game this week. So do you have anything that you want to add, Ginter?
not especially. I've been recovering from my trip, so I honestly haven't. See, when I go on vacation, I come back and there's just a stack of work on my desk. So I don't have time to do anything with that. And that
Nope.
eat Jolly Ranchers all day, which I already got all the watermelon out of this bag behind me, so it's just grape and blueberry. The
Oh,
cherry's not bad. The apple's okay, but
yeah, apples. It's probably it's a tough one. Apple and lemon are kind of my 2 least favorites.
lemon Jolly Rancher.
I think I've had those before.
No, you're right. That is a thing, but I've not seen that in years. I gotta look that one up. But it's all
It's
about watermelon. I mean,
it's
let's be
pro-
real. Let's be real.
no, you're sorely mistaken. It's all about grape. Um,
Oh, oh, dude, grape. I hate grape. You know why I hate grape? I used to take this grape creatine protein nonsense.
oh, okay. Oh, I understand that.
Just ruined it for me.
No, I can understand that doing something like that could ruin a taste on something. Kind of like taking a lot of Robitussin can ruin like cherry flavored candies and things like that for you. So,
I
all
love the
right.
taste of
So,
cough syrup. I'll tell you.
uh, big fan of the Robo tripping. Yeah. Yeah, moving right along. So, for this week's incursion, we are going to talk about rogues. To go rogue or not to go rogue? Man hunting or being hunted? So, A little bit of lore on the rogues. It's going to be a very brief, little basic thing. Basically, they're what is it? Wave one agents that disavowed the division and have basically started doing their own thing. They're kind of an additional faction in the game, in addition to like the LMB and the cleaners and the rioters.
DMCs.
They, yep, that's yeah. I mean, that's kind of what they are, but they're
I
more.
like that
They
phrase.
tend to be they tend to be more lone wolf. They're kind of like the hunters in the survival, and they're basically all all worship Aaron Keener. So
That is the God
they're
King, Aaron Keener.
yep, they're
He knows,
just
he knows what he's
another
doing. I love
right.
how ruthless they are. They
Mm-hmm.
see what they want and they take it. However, I can never be like that. I never go rogue, man. I'm too nice of a guy.
You know, I used to not do that, but there are some times when you're running around and you're just like, you know what? Tonight I feel like shooting anything that moves in the DZ.
Never works out for me either. I always get messed up.
Yeah, usually I only go rogue if I'm in a group. So I'm a lightweight like that. I can't
Oh,
1v4.
I was gonna
So
make a really racist joke, but I'll
no,
save it
no.
for my own mind
Yeah, right.
about
You're just sitting
jumping.
there in your own little entertainment. So how does one go rogue? So basically, you can shoot or damage other players. You get a couple bullets or some, low level damage before you start a timer. But once you're actually putting a decent number of rounds into somebody, that'll flip you over into rogue. Or if you're at an extraction and you hit the button to begin the rope cutting mechanic, even if you don't cut the extraction rope, that immediately starts you on rogue. So what happens when you go rogue? Big thing is you basically can't enter safe houses or checkpoints, which means you cannot resupply. There are some exceptions to that. Obviously, if you take down NPCs or take down players, you can pick up some gear. If you have a Banshee set, you can get some benefits from that. But otherwise, you're pretty much stuck with whatever you have on you. So if you're going to go out there and start hunting division players in the DZ, make sure that you got all your gear loaded up and all your med kits restocked before you start. So basically, what happens is if you do go rogue, you end up with that rogue timer. So it has to do with how much damage you're causing to other players and how many kills you've had down. Pretty much, if you just kind of start off or kind of just the tip it, you end up in
What was
a
that?
ranked. You just the tip,
Just the tip? Okay.
just the tip. You just kind of start
That's all
off,
I
don't really
heard.
commit to it.
That selective
Yeah,
hearing.
yep. You end up with basically a rank of zero and a 20-second timer. Then it pretty much continues. If you hit rank one, you end up with a 90-second timer. If you hit rank two, you have a 120-second timer. Rank three, 160-second timer. Rank four, 240-second timer. And if you completely max it out at rank five, where you're on manhunt, you get a 300-second timer. Uh, Pretty much with that manhunt, that means that you are constantly, players can see you on the screen. You're a red like skull that's floating around, so they can see you on the mini map. They can pull up the map of the DZ, see you on there. Makes it basically a target for everyone to come after you. So it's one of those things that if you're going to do that, you want to commit to it. It's not I think I might do this, but it's pretty much when you're going to that extent, that's where you're out for blood. So you said pretty much you're not a rogue. You're always a rogue hunter.
Not even that. I almost ashamed to say that I hardly ever go into the dark zone. When I play, I usually play with people and or like a person, and we usually just kind of try to have fun. Like, I've had just so many. I've been playing from the gate, from the start, and I've just had
Mm,
so many bad experiences when there were so many hackers in the game. Because I play on the PC.
mm, right.
I was playing with hackers and like just dicks. Just like people I just didn't even want to deal with. I was just like I'm kind of disenchanted by the dark zone. And I feel like anytime that I did get into a fight, I was so underpowered, even though I wasn't, but
Hmm.
I get ganged up on every time, like, cause I'd usually go in there solo, and that's You can't solo. You can't go in the dark zone solo. You will get ganked. You will get jumped by a group of 4 people. Never trust anybody in the dark zone. I don't. If it was your own mother, don't trust that
Right.
crazy. Don't do it. It's a bad decision. Even if they're acting cool, they're on the proxy chat saying, "Hey, what's up, bro? You want to roll with us?"
Right.
They
Right.
will turn on you
Right.
if you're not on their team, because obviously you can only have 4, so they can't add you onto a team. But if they start saying things like, "You want to roll with us" and stuff, they'll get into a good fight, have you help them, and then kill you and take your shit.
Right.
By the way,
There are.
you see the Walking Dead trailer for season 8?
No, I didn't.
Or do you watch The Walking Dead?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have
Dude,
not seen it yet.
watch it. Anyway, go ahead.
We should have had that running on the side here.
Yeah, I can still do that. I can still put it up.
No, that's fine. People be like, "What am I watching here? What's going on here?" There are actually some spots occasionally that I will. There's a couple routes in the lower DZ that I will occasionally run if I'm running solo, just for entertainment's sake. They're usually where hunters aren't, or like manhunters aren't actually hanging out in there, and you don't have to deal with rogues that often.
Yeah.
And you'll find out very quickly if you do go in there and you try to extract once and they hit you, drop out of the DZ and go, do something else.
I always stay close to the doors. 1 second.
Hmm.
Always stay close to the doors. That's what I do.
Right. Well, and there's also, now that they opened up 7, 8, and 9, if you're confident enough in your skills, there are some routes that you can run up there. I'm not as familiar with those just because it does require a little bit more skill level to run solo, but there are spots where you can go up there where, I mean, typically people that are playing Rogue are going to try to stick towards the middle to lower end of the DZ, at least in my experience, because it's easier hunting. The
Yeah.
NPCs aren't as punishing, whereas if you're up in,
Right.
say, like DZ, if you're in 7, 8, and 9, if rogues start chasing you, if you're smart enough, you can run through and aggro a bunch of NPCs and basically set a trap that can slow them down enough to the point where you can get out of the way. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is an excellent maneuver.
yep,
Aggro some non-playing characters. Uh, have them do your evil work, or your, I guess, good Samaritan work. I know they're saving you, so unless they kill
right.
you, which no, that would suck.
The other side of that is it's also a bitch move that people on Manhunt will use to try to run their timer down. That they'll be, rather than standing and fighting as a man under a manhunt, they'll run to try to get the rewards from clearing a manhunt, and they'll go through and aggro a bunch of NPCs for people that are chasing them, so that it slows them down. So
Yeah, those are the kind of
something
people who
to
get it
keep
in
in
real
mind.
life, though. You know,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
they get it real good eventually. Like some really just awful shit happens to them, and then they look back and go, "Man, I should have been nicer in the dark
Yep.
zone." That's their
Karma's
first thought. Their doctor calls them with
right
some bad news,
in the dark zone.
and he puts his phone down. He's just like, "Man, I should have been a lot better in the dark zone. This is my
Yep.
punishment."
Karma's a bitch. I tell you.
Karma is a bitch, and karma never loses your address. I just heard that one
No,
somewhere today.
that's a good one. I
That
like
is a good
that.
one, right? I like that.
So when you get a rogue timer, how do you go about clearing that, Ginter? How do you clear? What do you have to do to basically clear a timer?
So if me personally, in general, if I have a rogue timer,
Mm-hmm.
it's because I accidentally shot somebody during a firefight with NPCs.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I put my hands up, I do the surrender thing, and if they're cool, I use proxy chat and I go, "Hey, my bad, dude. I was trying to help you kill an NPC and shit.
Right.
So, don't shoot. I'm not a bad dude. I'm a good guy. I go to church and I go visit my grandma and stuff, and I donate charity. Just leave me be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Pretty much tell them, my whole shebang bang. I was raised by a single mom, and she raised me right. I'm humble. I'm a humble guy. You know.
Right.
By that time, they're just going, dude, shut up. We're not gonna shoot you. Just shut up. Get over it. Thank you for your story, but we don't care. And I'm just like, come on, man. You don't have to be like that. You know? And I just distracted them for 10 seconds, or I think it's like 8 seconds. It's been so long that
Right.
the timer's gone. And I'm just like, ha, bitch! I just distracted you. I'm actually an asshole. I was with your mom last night. Ha! You know. So
Say hi to your mother.
yeah, exactly. I walked by your room last night, bro. I was the one who gave you a kiss on your forehead after I tucked you in.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
By the way, my tongue is red
No.
from Jolly Rancher.
Oh. That's okay.
Ruthless.
Too many Jolly Ranchers.
Ruthless gangster definition villain. Keep your shit unlocked and I'm stealing. You can call the police, but that's all you can do because I'll get away without leaving a clue. My name is Ginter. Not easy.
Nice. So I kind of do the same thing if I accidentally go rogue. Just kind of see if they're going to shoot me back. If they do, game on. So, but in general, if you do get a timer on, the way to clear it is you basically have to run the timer down, and it will start counting down 1 second at a time, as long as you're not being damaged. So if you're taking damage from either other rogues or from non-rogue players, as long as you're taking damage, that timer's going to pause. If you can continue to cause damage, that will increase your timer also up to the point where you hit that 300-second manhunt. So it's kind of what adds sand to the clock and takes sand away from it. So just something to consider when you're running with the timer on.
I've never survived it, man.
I've done it once or twice. You have to be with a group that's like well equipped or that's like used to doing it, or you have to be in a DZ where you've got a lot of players that are noobs or just not used to fighting rogues. So,
Here's your shitty grape.
Oh, my shitty grape, yes.
It makes me sick, like literally. But you know what? People love grape. You know what though? I do like grapes. Like I can eat grapes, you know. But grape flavored
Right.
stuff. You know what's funny? I hate watermelon, but I love watermelon flavored stuff.
That's weird.
Isn't that weird? Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's a little weird.
Yeah. Totally just sidetracked. me
Well,
there.
I mean, the fact that you like the one fruit and hate things flavored by it, and dislike the other fruit and like the flavor.
Yeah, that's true. Watermelons are just so messy. I like pineapple, like diced pineapple, but I don't like it in teriyaki burgers at all.
Okay.
Can't do it in teriyaki burgers, man. Nope. Nope.
Interesting.
Yeah, can't do it.
So, what happens when you die in the DZ, whether you're a rogue or not a rogue? So, if you're not a rogue and you get killed in the DZ, you drop, so depending on which gear sets you're working, majority of the time you'll drop a portion of your gear, typically some keys and some DZ funds, and you lose some
I hate losing
some
keys.
experience. Yep. Some of the gear that you drop will be public, which means people that are by you can or come by your body can pick that up and take it. Some of it's private, which means only you can pick that up when you come back to that spot. If you're wearing a Banshee gear set, that kind of changes all of that. It reduces the amount of stuff that you lose, the funds that you lose, the experience that you lose, whether you're on Rogue or on not on Rogue. So benefit of going on Manhunt is you can basically steal people's stuff. There are, if you're actually hunting rogues, there is, at least on the consoles, an achievement for killing 20 of them. So for anybody that's looking to max out your achievements or trophies on the console, and I'm assuming the same for PC, there's some type of scoring system for that. If you're going to completely try to max out the game, you do at least need to kill 20 rogues in the game to get that one token there. So There is a small incentive for those of you guys that are, as I like to call them, Chivo whores, to actually to go in there and start chasing down the rogues. So
Yeah, my cousin's like that. He just has to get every achievement in every game.
some people have the time, and that's something that they like to do is they just go in, clear everything out, move on to the next game. Um, for me, if
But
it happens, it happens.
I might,
So
you know what? Since I'm moving like a couple hours away from like home, I'll probably have so much more time on my hands. Maybe I'll start doing that.
yeah, I just for shits and giggles was checking today to see where I was at on PS4, and I think at like 76% completion for the game. So it's basically some minor things in like each of the expansions that I need to do, and then I need to finish picking up like all of the echoes and the journal pages and all the stuff in the game. Just clean up the last bit of stuff. So,
Right, right.
but it's things that like I'm probably not going to actively go to try to knock out. Eventually I'll hit 20 rogues. Eventually I'll get some of the other cap things that you need to do just by playing the game. But it's not something I'm not going to go in and spend a bunch of hours going through it just because it's I don't have that kind of interest now. Fog of War type games like Warcraft and things like that. I'd be the one that was like, I'm gonna send my peons to all the corners of the map because I want to see everything. But achievements, nah, I don't. It's not that big of a thing for me.
Fog of War. I haven't heard that one in a while.
Well, I mean, it's not that common of a topic now. Well, I guess I would think that Civ still uses it. At least the last version of that I played had it on it. But
There's nothing
anywho,
wrong with that game, man.
well,
I like.
you know,
Don't get me wrong. I like Civilization, but it is just so time consuming.
hmm
And hours and hours. And if you play with friends like online, it's even longer because
yeah.
yeah, and no one can sit there and play for hours and you stop and you pick it up like a couple weeks later and then it's just it's a
They'd be
fun
like,
game
all right,
though. It's a fun game though.
right.
It's hard. It's a challenging, legit challenging game. It can be
Mm-hmm. Yep.
legitimately challenging.
Oh, definitely. All right. So the next thing we want to talk about, next to last thing I should say, is builds. So, what kind of gear do you use when you're gearing up to go rogue, and what kind of gear do you use when you're going rogue hunting? So, Ginter, when you have you ever gone rogue? I mean, is it not?
Not really something I do, but I mean, obviously you have what is it, Banshees.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much geared towards going rogue.
Right.
So obviously, if you're going to be one of those guys who's just going rogue all the time, you're going to want to focus on those gear sets. The Banshees Shadow.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think. But yeah, you're going to want to focus that kind of nonsense. I think that Grenader one would probably be pretty cool. User one.
Final measure.
Final measure, because people throwing grenades at you. I was playing an incursion.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't an incursion. It was the one with It was the one where they at the very top northwest. No, northwest. With the
Clear sky with the mortars. Like you end up at the end, it's in a
I
kind
didn't
of
get
like
to the
a.
end. I didn't get to the end.
Oh, okay.
There's three. You got to save three different hostages from the rioters, not the rioters. I can't think of their faction right now. The jumpsuit guys, the bad guys.
Are you thinking Lexington Event Center, the mission?
No, this is an incursion.
Okay.
You choose three different pathways. You have to do each of them, but you have to save a hostage in each of them.
Oh, you're talking the new one.
It's been there for a while, but
Lost Signal, Stolen Signal.
Yeah, Stolen Signal.
Okay. Yep.
Dude.
Oh, okay.
That is hard. Like, to be fair, I had a pretty garbage team. Like, I was the only one really doing any damage, and like they kept getting electrocuted and going down.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Hawk was there with me. And
was he?
He wasn't 256 yet, so like he was trying. He was probably one of the better ones on my team, but the other two guys were just They were trying, but man, they just weren't doing the damage, and like they kept killing the hostage, and there's that guy who takes like unlimited damage on the staircase.
Right.
'Cause
So I kind of agree with you with if I'm gonna go rogue, Banshee is one of the sets that I would run. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, the two-piece bonus for Banshee is plus 20% Dark Zone currency gained. Three-piece is plus 10% damage to targets out of cover. And then the four-piece depends on whether you're rogue or not rogue. So you can also use this set for rogue hunting. So if you're rogue, all ammo is completely refilled every 30 seconds. Damage taken from non-rogue players is also reduced by 10%. And then if you're hunting rogues, damage by rogue players is increased. Damage to rogue players is increased by 10%, and this bonus is increased to 20% for 10 minutes after being killed by a rogue. So that's a good set to use, kind of either side.
the D3
I also,
set too.
yeah, that
Like a
works. If
shield,
you're gonna,
unless there's four of them, because around you, got your shield up one
right,
spot. Or SMG here. Hey, they remove that thing where it removes your critical hit chance.
yes, they changed it.
I still crit like it's dude. My crit's
You
so
get,
high. I crit like every shot. It's freaking insane. Like
I'm
crit crit
trying to
crit
remember
crit.
how that works. It's either they added back in the
I'm gonna look it
base
up.
crit chance that is on the SMG, or they added in the accessories. So like if you had or the mods and stuff, if you have accessories and mods onto your weapon, I think that's the bonus that you get.
Um,
Let's
Reddit, dude.
take a look here and see what it says.
Really, I can't find any information on this. What is this?
Oh no, it did. Yep, they did add it back in. It says now that the defense, when your ballistic shield has no skill, when it's used, the ballistic shield will have no mods added onto it, but you will no longer lose your crit hit chance. So yep, so
Yeah.
you get back all the benefits on
But
that.
you get
So
the master one though, right?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. So you get the
Um,
master, and you get your crit bonus. Yeah, I
right.
was at first when they did that, I was like, when they first released it, I was like, really? That's like the only good thing about SMG, that crit.
Hmm.
I was like, if they're gonna take the crit out, they just ruin that set, you know?
Well, I mean, you are able to do, um, depending on which SMG you're using. So, like, if say you're using, well, I guess the handgun, the SMGs and the handguns, basically, depending on which ones you use, so you can either get a 9mm round or a 45. So it's pretty much all the same. So, like, if you're using like a Vector, that's a 45. If you're using an MP5, that's a 9mm. Same thing with the handguns. So,
I've yet
it's
to
just you
find an
can,
MP5.
right. Oh,
So
see,
sad.
they had the blueprint for the Navy MP5 was in the vendor
I want the
last
ST.
week or the week before.
I want the ST.
The
I
Navy
want
one's
a
actually
50.
not that bad. The ST's pretty good, but the Navy's pretty serviceable.
I'm
So
gonna just drop the first F bomb on this. Hey,
we should have like
we're
a
explicit
buzzer,
for a reason, right?
right?
You know, if the FCC is gonna
Um,
make us explicit, why not?
yeah,
Why
right.
not? I say. Oh wait, no, we choose the explicit rating. No.
Yes, I think so. I think
If
you're right.
if Ginter's gonna make us explicit, then why not? That's what I
Let's do it.
say.
Um,
Be free.
I'm
Live.
trying to think what else. Oh, I'll also run my Hexo build on if I'm going rogue. I'll basically run my Hexo for both, either if I'm going rogue or hunting rogues, just because it's a pretty solid all around build. Can do some decent damage, has some, um, middle of the road skill points, some decent toughness. So, um, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Oh,
I was like,
gotcha. So when you're hunting rogues, if you do or whenever you decide to try to hit that kill 20 rogues achievement, um, what are you going to load up with? You going to run your defense build?
I'm gonna run my D3. You know, I always, I, these Apple ones make you cough. Um, I always run defense. I'm always main defense. Whenever I was playing like Command and Conquer back in the day, I'd always build like a sick defensive base. Like even if the mission was like to go do one quick thing, I always have to have such a sick defense, even if there was no one ever attacking me. I'm such a defensive kind of guy. I drive defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's are you supposed to drive defensively? Or no, it's supposed to be an offensive driver, right? How's the phrase?
God, I don't know.
Do you remember what I'm talking about, right? They always say be an offensive driver.
I'm not. I'm not
Whatever.
sure.
I'm both. So
Okay.
I go both ways.
Oh, okay.
Um, very defensive guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always watching. Everywhere.
Gotcha.
Anyway, yeah. So I build defense, definitely.
Okay. And like I said, again, I'll use
A good
if I
defense is a good offense.
is the best offense, isn't it? So yeah, something like that. I'm picking up what you're putting down. So, um, depending on how many people I'm running with, if it's a lot of times I'll run with like just one of my other friends. If I'm doing that, I might lean more on my Banshee build just so that I just don't lose a bunch of stuff if I go hunting rogues. If I've got a decent group that knows what they're doing, I will be a little bit more open with my build choice. I might go with Predator Mark. I might go with the Hexo. May still stay with the Banshee, or I could switch to like a support like a TAC or Reclaimer. A lot of it just depends on kind of who I'm running with, who I feel comfortable with. If I'm getting cut down a lot, I don't want to be losing a lot of gear and whatnot. Although because gear rains all over the place in the light zone, if you lose stuff in the dark zone, it's not that big of an issue. But it's kind of a pride thing if you're getting cut down all the time. So
Good thing I don't have
still,
any pride.
yeah. Well, there you go.
My ex-girlfriends took it all.
Well, that can happen.
I'm just
That's
like a sackless something.
something. So
But I'm a good
so
person.
well, there you go. See. So the last thing I want to talk about was what I like to call rogue douchebaggery. So what do I consider rogue douchebaggery? So kind of how we were talking at the top here, accidental rogue. So um, and when I mean accidental, this is more people jumping in front of your fire. There used to be a whole thing where you drop a turret down to attack some NPCs, and some asshats would come along, jump in front of the turret as it's shooting NPCs. You take 2 or 3 rounds. Now you're rogue, and then they kill you because they're douchebags. Now it might be they might shoot around you, or they might shoot 1 or 2 shots at you, enough to kind of start almost getting to a timer for them, but not enough to actually activate the timer. And then you just, instinctively turn and start shooting, and then all of a sudden you're rogue. So it's kind of a bullshit thing. It's part of the game. There's not much you can do with it. I guess under that you could also put if you're not paying attention to what the hell you're doing, or you're a complete nub cake and you're trying to extract some gear and you hit the wrong button and try to hijack the rope, even if it's got your team stuff on it, that'll send you rogue. So
And your
so
team.
just and your team. So just be aware that if there's people jumping around where they are, so that you don't accidentally end up with that, or that they're trying to set you off. So it's, make sure that you're shooting at things that have a red bar over them, not a white bar. So, and then the last thing I'd kind of also mention with rogue is going rogue and then running away. That is beyond a bitch move.
Don't be a
If you're right, yeah, right, exactly. No, that's I wanted to say it. Yeah. if you're gonna go in and you're gonna start going rogue, commit to it, sack up,
be a man.
and go.
Don't be
go,
a
yeah,
punk ass bitch.
go toe to toe. It's one thing if you take out a group of people and then you're cruising around the DZ and somehow don't find anybody else, and your manhunt timer goes out. That's one thing. It's another thing. You're like, they're on my ass. I'm gonna go running through all of the different NPC groups and all the landmarks to start tripping all of the aggro and getting all the enemies out there so that nobody can get me, or I'm gonna go sit in a corner and hide someplace. If you're gonna go rogue, actually do it and go out and actually fight. Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch. I like that.
So, so that's kind of what we had on our notes here. Did you have anything that you wanted to add before we start to close this one out?
Yeah, actually I have. So I've been starting to eat healthier lately. Salads and grilled chicken and
Yeah.
whole oats oatmeal, not the like bomb stuff with like the peaches and cream and the maple
Mm,
syrup. And
okay.
so if anyone has any suggestions on how I can eat healthier, stay strong, fast. As far as division, um, just don't be a bitch. Get out there. If you're gonna go rogue, be a man about it. Die like a man. Die like a man.
Yep.
That's pretty much it for me. Just I will. Oh, I actually know we'll start closing out, and I want to announce something. Hopefully, I think we discussed this. So, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, just a real quick division forum this week. I just want to give a shout out to Ninja Damus on Twitter. He had been actually chatting with me in private message on the division forums asking for help creating a vampire build. I guess he was out running in the DZ and kept getting shredded by guys running vampire build. So for those of you that aren't familiar with that, it's basically just a build that's got a lot of health regen on it, built into it, using either talents, gear pieces, things like that. But it's just set up so that as they're doing certain damage or completing certain tasks, they're getting health back. And so he's looking for some suggestions on that. And so I reached out to him, got his Twitter handle, and then posted up to Matt Goes Buck and kind of the public to see what we could do to help him out. And he actually got a bunch of different suggestions in addition to the suggestions I offered him. So as we've been asking everybody, you got something you need help with, send us a tweet at Shade Tech Radio, send us an email, shadetechradio@thedivisionforums.com, post up on the Division Forums, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. If it's something, you send us a sweet email, we'll read it on the show, we'll go through, discuss it as a topic. If it's we get enough feedback or interest on a certain topic, we'll add it to our list of incursion topics. We'll pick it up for the show and kind of give you some feedback on it. So that's pretty much all I've got for the forum, unless you got any shout outs for anybody.
I just want to thank. Have I thanked my mother and family and stuff already? Have I done that skit?
I don't.
I did already.
You might have. Okay.
No. Oh, I guess I'll thank our followers, people who are watching it.
Yeah. Yep.
You're the real heroes here.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking. We're happy that you were interested in saying my stupid comments.
Right.
Actual intellectual conversation. Thank you for your support.
Excellent. Yep.
And for supporting the forum. For forum's been up for almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years at the end.
Yep.
Glad that it's become a hub for people to come and talk about the division. I plan to keep it that way. I aim to keep it that way. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for me. A little bit of a quick thing. We're episode 10. Episode 10 will be episode 8.
So 2 weeks.
Okay, let's shoot for episode 11 then. I'm going to be moved to episode 11. Have a better setting. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we would like to do a live streaming episode where we live stream. And all my racial slurs won't be bleeped out. So, or edited out, excuse me. I'm totally kidding. I'm not a racist. It's just funny to be one these days because it's people so peace Anyway, so we're gonna try to do a live episode. We want to get people chatting. We want to be talking to people. Hearing what people
Yep.
have to say, interacting with people. You know, we want to put you guys on the show. We want you guys here with us, right here with us. Hell, maybe even get a call in. On the Skype. Maybe a video. Put a little video window for people to come in and show their face that you wear a mask if you want. I don't give a shit. Whatever you
Oh,
want to
that's
do.
an idea.
And
That's an
then we
idea.
got Rick and Morty coming back July 30th, right? I mean, come on, this is a good week. This is a good 2 weeks, like.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
we'll have it out on. We're still finalizing, but it will be up on Twitch channel, so that way people can follow in on Twitch, give comments, chats, whatnot.
Yeah, and you could live tweet us.
Yep. The idea with that is we'll do our usual kind of go through state of the game. We'll also have the division forum at the end, kind of give some shout outs. But the incursion for the week will be chat choice. So you guys ask questions, we'll give you feedback. You guys give us a topic, we'll talk, and we'll go for probably, since it'll be a live, we'll probably schedule it for like an hour window or so, and just kind of go on, do the thing, and then bug out. So.
Yeah. We're gonna try to get people involved in the whole thing. We really love everybody, and we love all of you guys, and we just want to get everyone into this thing, and maybe like we can all just like hang out and talk and discuss things, maybe hold hand, I don't know, just weird stuff like that. Whatever, we'll see what happens. We'll just see where our energy takes us. Like,
Yeah.
maybe my energy can go up inside of your spirit and stuff. It's
Right.
just like,
Yeah.
we can just see where it goes. It's just
Right.
it's free. It's free.
Right.
It's
May-
good.
Maybe someone will get lucky and we'll get to chat out a song for the intro and outro. You never know. We'll see what happens.
If you want to pick a song, I could try to sing it. I got the pipes. I got the pipes.
Yeah. So we get a good selection there. Ginter sees it and goes, "What?" and just starts singing, and then
Yeah.
that's usually what happens.
I always say, I woke up quick at about noon, right? Let me tell you a story. Just thought that I had to be in Compton soon, right? I got to get drunk before the day begins. My mother starts bitching about my friends. About to go and damn near went blind, young. In the path throwing up gang signs. I run in the house to get the clip with my Mac 10 on the side of my hip, right? Listen, this is the most important part. I bail outside and I pointed my weapon, right? Just as I thought the fools kept stepping, I jumped in my flow, hit the juice in the ride. I got front and back and side to side. And then do you know what I did next?
No.
I let the Alpines play. I was pumping new shit by NWA. It was Gangster at the top of the list. And then I played my own shit. It went something like this.
All right then. There you go. So you can see how we pick music. Whatever catches Ginter's fancy at the end, it's like that's it. That's how it's gonna be. So with that, you can reach me on the Twitter at deadsockpuppet_. You can hit my email, hit my Twitch channel. All the information is right there. Ginter, where can everybody reach you?
You can reach me on Twitter at G1NT3R. Right there.
Yep.
This is underneath him. You can reach me at right there. Division 4. What are you pointing at? You got two and you're like
My name's longer than yours.
right. It's okay, I'll give you that. You can reach me.
I see my Schwartz is bigger than yours.
The Schwartz is strong with this one. You can reach me right there as well. From anywhere too. I gotta tell you a story. Actually, I was camping and I was sitting in the outhouse, right? And it just sucks, like when you get up and you have to. I can't do it. I can't do the joke just because it's so inappropriate. But basically, it just sucks when you have to clean the tip off after you get out of the house.
Yeah. On that note, our podcast is
Hey,
brought
we're
to you by.
rogues, man. We don't
Yeah,
give a shit,
I just
right?
don't give a F.
I just don't give a.
So our podcast each week is brought to you by the Division Forums, a fan site for all things Division. You can reach us at
Excellent.
thedivisionforums.com or at Division Forums on Twitter. The show can be reached at shadetechradio.com or on Twitter at shadetechradio. Like we've mentioned before, please email us at shadetechradio at thedivisionforums.com. Audio is available on iTunes and video is available on YouTube. In addition to that, you can get access to the RSS feed from shadetechradio.com. Please like, sub, review, and comment so we know what we're doing, what we can do to improve, and just that we're not just sitting here talking to ourselves. Somebody out there is listening. Finally, I'd say like to say thank you for listening. This has been Shade Tech Radio, reminding you to keep an eye on your Shade Tech agents, and we'll see you in the fight to take back New York.
Goodbye, everybody. It was great. It's great being back. I'm so happy to be here.
It's good to have you back.
Yeah. Do I have to sing again? Because I just sang.
No, you can.
No, but
We can
hold
just
on.
kind of.
Oh, dude. How good was the song from last week's episode? Silent Lucidity, dude. Queensryche. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, it blew my mind. Queensryche, dude. It's just...
I wonder if we should go out with some type of tribute for Linkin Park.
Yes, dude. I could sing an A so well. Oh, this is actually perfect. Waiting for the end to come, wishing I had strength. This is not what I had planned. It's out of my control.